It's always good to be at Beulah Baptist, and had I known the picture they were going to put up of me, I had this exact same thing on. I would have wore something different. He didn't tell me. I think I bought this coat for that occasion. I do own more than one coat. But anyway, I'm more of a blue jeans and T-shirt kind of guy. But it's always good to be at Beulah, and just kind of a little bit of a backstory. I was working with Christian Adoption Services, who we love and appreciate and partner with, and I still love that ministry. As a matter of fact, you'll get to meet Karen in a few weeks, as I saw on your slide up there, that she's a fantastic development officer here in South Carolina, lives at Myrtle Beach, and so you'll enjoy meeting her. And so whenever we need to place a child in adoption, when we ever have a family who is interested in adopting, we point them toward Christian Adoption Services. And likewise, if they have a family that wants to foster, they're going to point them to Connie Maxwell. So we have this great partnership. But back in October of last year, I was at an event, and one of the VPs came up to me at Connie Maxwell, and he said, "Don't you think it's time you come and work for us?" And man, I just thought, wow, that would be incredible to be able to work with Connie Maxwell, who I've heard about my whole life. Have y'all heard of Connie Maxwell before? Raise your hand if you've heard of it. I grew up hearing about Connie Maxwell and all the great things happening there, and so I was thrilled to be a part of it. And started last May, and man, I'm just blown away. I had no idea the impact of this ministry. 140 years old, South Carolina Baptist entity in Greenwood, South Carolina, campus in Florence that I'll head to today to visit with those folks, campus in Chesterfield, South Carolina, and then a campus in the upstate in Malden. And we're looking at building another property down in Charleston to service the Low Country, and I'm going to share a little bit more about that in just a few minutes. But I just wanted to share with you very briefly about the ministry. Imagine the amount of children and families that have been impacted by the great work of Connie Maxwell over the last 140 years. It's hard to imagine. Right now, there's children in care all over South Carolina living in our residential homes. So we have our residential ministry where these kids who, for whatever reason, their families can't take care of them or not taking care of them. And so we have private placement opportunities for them to come stay on our campuses and live in a home with a great family and live with other kids and go to school every day and have discipline and accountability and all the things that we know that kids need, and to have food, to have clothes, and all those things. So our residential ministry, a lot of people moving away from that, but we believe in it. We think it's a powerful thing, and so we continue to do it. Right now, anywhere from 65 to 100 children at any given time, but thousands impacted throughout the years. We have a family care ministry, single moms who just can't make it or just trying to figure out what to do, and maybe their life's been impacted by other things outside of their control, or maybe it's been impacted by drugs and alcohol, but they can check into our program, bring their kids, live on our campuses. Isn't that great? And go through a 2-year program where they can just find their way, get a job. Great stories. I talked to a girl on the phone the other day. Her name's Grace, and she tells this powerful story of her progress. She left home at a young age, got involved in drugs at 12 years old, dropped out of school, started having babies, and she got on heroin and meth and all these things, and it destroyed her life. But today, she went into Connie Maxwell Care April a year ago, and now today she's met Jesus, which is the number one thing. She knows the Lord. She's graduated from high school. She's enrolled in college to become a nurse. She's getting custody back of her children one by one. She has 3 kids. And so we see the power of this ministry played out before our eyes, and that's just one story of many. And then we have this crisis care ministry for children that are really in bad situations and experienced a great deal of trauma in their life. So that's a picture of who we are and what we do. So many other things across the state. And I want you to know that when you give your tithes and offering, and your church sends money to the cooperative program of South Carolina, a portion of those funds go to support Connie Maxwell and what we do in the state. And then we're so thankful for churches that go above and beyond that and give monthly or do one-time offerings throughout the year. So thank you for what you're doing. And in case you didn't know, you are supporting. Now, before I show you this next video, I want to tell you about the future of Connie Maxwell. We are dreamers. Danny Nicholson's our president. I hope you get a chance to meet him someday. Danny is a dreamer. He's the biggest dreamer I've ever met. He's a singer-songwriter much like myself, and we hit it off, and we write music together and do some of those fun things. But we dream about the future of Connie Maxwell, and we're in the middle of the decade of dreams. In that decade of dreams, the goal is we want to build that campus to service people in the Low Country. We want to do that. We want to reimagine the Connie Maxwell farms. The farms are a beautiful place where kids can heal. 400 acres, equine therapy, cattle. I went riding the other day and it healed me. It was great. But we want to reimagine that and create more ways for kids to heal. But finally, here's the big part. We are going to build a healing center. And in that healing center, families and children that are in desperate need of care and healing from the trauma in their life, they can find help there. And so instead of me trying to tell you all about it, I brought a video of Danny. He's our president, just a fantastic man of God, loves Jesus and loves kids and loves helping kids. So watch this video. My time's done, but thank you so much for what you do.
It's awful, the brokenness of all the scattered pieces of families and children that lay across the landscape. If you could ever imagine depending on somebody as a child, like your whole life depends on them, and them hurting you, or abusing you, or making you feel like you're not cared for, you're just a throwaway. Here's the question. How much is it worth for a child to be truly healed? The question for me as a leader was, is there something more we can do? Is there a relentless drive that we can find deep in us to do more to help these kids? And the answer to that, we felt like, was yes, and it opened up in this decade of dreams as the Healing Center, the McCall Center, reimagining our farm. And then last is to expand our scope across South Carolina. And those are the three components of the Decade of Dreams that are for the Dreams of Children campaign. Our vision is to become a national leader in healing and ministry for vulnerable children and families. For 130 years, we've never been in the Low Country. We felt like it was important for us to move to a place where the density of need was a lot. You need to be there. You can't be way far away to be able to take care of families and the kids. The Charleston vision is to mirror our home base campus here in Greenwood. Connie Maxwell is already beautiful. We don't want to change Connie Maxwell. We just want to enhance everything that we're doing. We want to make it just that much better. So in relation to Maxwell Farms, the vision is thousands of people come and learn about children and enjoying some kind of, worshipful experience.
Okay, this is one of my favorite parts of the farm. You can see our humble stage now where we've had events in the past. But our amphitheater will be a dug-in structure with different levels, terraced levels, seating maybe 2,000 or 3,000 people. We envision a chapel on that peninsula. We envision kids going in there and having another, say, quiet place to reflect on why they're here, what's going on. The hub of the wheel would be the livestock center, and then our pastures would go out from it. I've always heard that if better's an option, good's no longer good enough. We're very excited about this place and what it can do to tell our story, but also how our kids can enjoy it.
People are individually broken. Before we can actually address it in a meaningful way, we have to understand what it is. Healing and wholeness leads to dreaming. And the center gives us a chance to propel us into a greater impact across the nation. I can get a child counseling 1 hour a week, all right? Or I could train everybody on campus and we could be therapeutic 24 hours a day.
There's a whole circle of influence around these kids on our campus. At any given point, they could find that person in their life that they feel really safe around. We're very specifically saying, where is these kids' safe spaces? Where do they thrive? And let's leverage that to the most we can. We just need the buildings and infrastructure to match what we want to do here.
The Healing Center is not just a building. We're talking about a bridge between brokenness and being whole. Somewhere around 25,000 square feet. We've learned so much now about the heart and the brain and the spirit that we can put those things together to be much more productive in our ability to make human beings whole and to nurture them. This will be a mark in the ground for healing, trauma, and building a culture where folks can be whole. That's what the Healing Center will mean at Connie Maxwell.
My dream? Wow. I would say my dream is to, I guess, lead a really good life.
This place is a magical place.
It really is. You know, it's like a big old family. Years ago, when I first got here, if I would have seen me now, I would have laughed, because I didn't think I could be anything more than what my parents set me up to be. But being in this place for so long, it's taught me to actually have hope.
Thinking back on like where I came from, I kind of dream of something better.
This is home. Like, this is the place that rescued them. This is the place that made it possible for them to feel loved and nurtured and to learn about God's grace. And that's why we exist. I mean, because a lot of people haven't been loved, they can't find their way. Connie Maxwell's a translator of love. Like, we're helping other people translate what it is that helps dreams come true, and that is to love a child.
Well, amen. It's always good to have Mike around. If you've never been, Connie Maxwell would love for us to go as a group on a visit. They would love, if you're ever in the Greenwood area, to just stop in and say, hey, we're friends with Mike, and maybe they'll let us look around. But there are so many projects. If you have a group that's looking to do some kind of project or something, it is an amazing place. It is an amazing place and been such a proud part of South Carolina Baptists for many, many years. And many generations of people have a story that Connie Maxwell helped craft. And we are so delighted. Mike, come on up here, brother. Again, thank you. As Mike said, we have been supporters of Connie Maxwell through our giving already, through the cooperative program, and for many years, and you know, other places like Connie Maxwell was a part of that as well. But because Mike was at our barbecue, and we have kind of started this extended partnership with Connie Maxwell, part of our barbecue missions fundraising. We are able to give Connie Maxwell, Mike, this morning $1,000 to be used however you see fit. So thank you so much, and we're glad to have you back at Beulah.